White bread. Soft, warm, comforting. It's a familiar part of breakfast for millions of older Americans. Maybe you toast it. Maybe you enjoy it with butter or jam. Maybe a bowl of pasta is your idea of a quick and simple dinner. Or you keep a few crackers around when you need a light snack. These foods seem harmless, even comforting. But what if I told you they may be slowly damaging your brain? After the age of 60, your brain becomes more sensitive to what you eat. It's not just about cholesterol or heart health anymore. It's about mental clarity, memory, and your ability to think clearly every day. Many seniors experience moments of brain fog, forgetfulness, or feeling sleepy after meals, and most don't connect it to the food on their plate. But they should. Refined carbohydrates like white bread, pasta, and crackers have a hidden effect on your brain that most people never think about. They don't just raise your blood sugar, they create an invisible wave of inflammation inside your brain. They disrupt the delicate balance of energy your brain needs, and they slowly weaken the connections between your neurons. If you've ever felt a sudden drop in energy after eating, or noticed you can't remember things as easily as before, your diet might be part of the problem. This isn't about fear, it's about knowledge. It's about giving your brain what it really needs, and staying sharp for the years ahead. In this video, we'll uncover the science behind how refined carbs affect the aging brain. We'll explore why seniors are especially vulnerable, and most importantly, we'll show you better choices that nourish your brain instead of harming it. This isn't a diet lecture, it's your roadmap to protecting your most powerful organ, one meal at a time. Let's begin. Your brain is a hungry organ. It uses more energy than any other part of your body. And where does that energy come from? Glucose, but not just any kind. Your brain needs a slow, steady stream of glucose, not wild spikes and crashes. And that's exactly the problem with white bread, pasta, and crackers. These foods are made from refined flour, which means they've been stripped of fiber and nutrients. When you eat them, they digest quickly and turn into sugar fast, flooding your bloodstream. This spike feels like energy at first, but what follows is a crash. And when blood sugar crashes, your brain suffers. For someone over 60, these blood sugar swings can be especially dangerous. Why? Because as we age, our ability to regulate blood sugar naturally declines. The insulin response becomes slower, and the cells become less sensitive. So the same slice of white bread that felt fine at 40 might now leave you confused or fatigued at 65. And here's the real risk. When your brain is exposed to repeated glucose spikes and crashes, it leads to inflammation. And that inflammation starts to damage key areas like the hippocampus, the part of your brain responsible for memory. It also reduces blood flow to the brain, making it harder to focus, reason, or even stay awake. It's why so many older adults report feeling sleepy after meals, why some experience lightheadedness or a strange fog they can't shake. It's not aging, it's diet. We often think of diabetes or blood sugar as something that affects the body, but the brain is just as affected, sometimes even more. And unlike a physical symptom, cognitive changes are harder to notice until it's too late. So if you've noticed your thinking isn't as sharp, if you've felt groggy after lunch or forgetful during the day, don't ignore it. Your brain is trying to tell you something, and white bread, pasta, and crackers may be part of the problem. Think about your meals. How often does a sandwich, a bowl of pasta, or a few crackers find their way to your plate? They seem so normal, so harmless. But when you look closely, you'll see a pattern, especially after 60. White bread. It's everywhere. Breakfast toasts, lunch sandwiches, even with soup at dinner. Pasta, soft and filling, is often the star of the meal. And crackers, well, they're the go-to snack for when you don't feel like cooking. But here's what most people don't realize. These foods are all part of the same problem. They're fast carbs that digest quickly, spike blood sugar, and offer almost no fiber or nutrients to slow the damage down. Now, why does this matter more for seniors? Because older adults often eat lighter meals, snack more, and may have a reduced appetite. That means every bite matters more. And when those bites come from foods like white bread or pasta, the brain doesn't get the nutrients it needs. It just gets overwhelmed with sugar. And the effects are subtle at first. You might feel full but mentally tired. You might feel comfortable but not quite sharp, and over time, that becomes your new normal. Brain fog, forgetfulness, even mood changes. All fed by what's on your plate. The sad part is that many seniors don't know these are warning signs. They blame age or stress or think, I'm just tired today. But if it happens often, especially after eating, that's not aging. That's your brain reacting. And it's not just mental. Refined carbs also raise inflammation across the body, making joint pain worse, slowing down healing, and increasing the risk of stroke or dementia long term. It's a chain reaction, starting with a piece of bread and ending with damage deep in your brain cells. But the good news is this: once you know what's happening, you can do something about it. And it doesn't mean giving up everything you love, it means making smarter choices that still taste great, and we'll show you how. Let's talk science. What do studies actually say about refined carbs in your brain? Well, a growing body of research confirms what many seniors feel, that foods like white bread and pasta may do more than fill your stomach, they affect your mind. In one major study from the Mayo Clinic, researchers followed over 1,200 older adults for 4 years. They found that those who ate diets high in refined carbohydrates like bread and pasta had a significantly higher risk of developing mild cognitive impairment. That means early memory loss, attention problems, and slower thinking. And it doesn't stop there. Another study published in the journal Neurology showed that seniors with the highest blood sugar levels, even without diabetes, had a smaller hippocampus, the memory center of the brain, and the higher the sugar, the more memory loss they experienced. Why? Because constant glucose spikes damage the delicate blood vessels that feed the brain. They also trigger chronic inflammation, which interferes with neurotransmitters, the brain's communication signals. Over time, this leads to less oxygen, less clarity, and more confusion. In fact, researchers now link diets high in refined carbs to an increased risk of Alzheimer's disease, sometimes calling it type 3 diabetes. That's how closely tied brain health and blood sugar have become. But here's something hopeful. Studies also show that reducing refined carbs and increasing fiber-rich whole foods can actually improve mental performance, even in seniors. One clinical trial showed that older adults who switched to a Mediterranean-style diet, lower in refined grains, higher in vegetables and healthy fats, had better memory, focus, and mood in just a few months. So this isn't about fear, it's about facts, and more importantly, it's about what you can do next. Because knowledge is power, especially when it comes to protecting your brain after 60. Now let's talk about solutions, because protecting your brain doesn't mean giving up delicious food. It means choosing smarter alternatives, foods that work with your body, not against it. And the best part? These swaps are simple, affordable, and taste just as satisfying. Start with bread. Instead of white bread, try whole grain or sprouted grain bread. These are slower to digest, have more fiber, and release energy gradually so your brain gets a steady fuel supply, not a sugar spike. Look for labels that list 100% whole grain as the first ingredient. Avoid breads that just say wheat or enriched. Those are often refined too. What about pasta? Try swapping traditional pasta with lentil, chickpea, or quinoa-based pasta. These options are packed with protein and fiber, and they won't spike your blood sugar. Even better, they support gut health, which plays a major role in brain function. And for crackers and snacks, go for options like rice cakes, roasted nuts, or vegetable sticks with hummus. These choices are lower in fast carbs, higher in nutrients, and keep your mind steady between meals. Don't forget your plate balance. Try the half-plate rule. Make half your plate colorful vegetables like spinach, bell peppers, broccoli, or carrots. These provide antioxidants that protect brain cells from aging. Include healthy fats, from avocados, olive oil, walnuts, or fatty fish like salmon. Your brain is nearly 60% fat, and it thrives on omega-3s for clarity, memory, and emotional balance. And yes, treat yourself occasionally. Just do it mindfully. A small piece of dark chocolate with nuts, a few berries after dinner, or a cup of green tea with cinnamon. All can feel indulgent without hurting your health. The key is consistency, not perfection. Every smart swap adds up, one bite at a time, one meal at a time, toward a clearer, stronger brain after 60. Let's dive deeper into something called the glycemic index, a powerful tool for protecting your brain after 60. The glycemic index, or GI, ranks how quickly a food raises your blood sugar. The higher the number, the faster your sugar spikes, and the faster your brain feels the crash. Why does this matter more as we age? Because after 60, our bodies process sugar more slowly. Our insulin response becomes weaker, and our cells become less sensitive to it. That means those sugar spikes last longer and hit harder. Your brain, which relies on steady glucose, becomes overwhelmed. The result? Brain fog, fatigue, irritability, and poor memory. Let's compare. A slice of white bread has a glycemic index around 75. That's high. But a slice of whole grain rye bread, around 50. That's much gentler on your body and your mind. White rice, around 70. Quinoa, just 53. Instant oatmeal, often over 80. But steel-cut oats, closer to 50. When you choose low GI foods, you give your brain a steady stream of energy. No roller coaster, just calm focus and clear thinking. That's why diets like the Mediterranean or DASH, both rich in low GI foods, have been linked to better memory and lower dementia risk in seniors. The good news is, you don't have to memorize every GI number. Just remember this: the closer a food is to its natural form, the lower the glycemic impact. Whole fruits instead of juice, brown rice instead of white, beans instead of breadsticks, real food for real brain health? So next time you shop or cook, think slow and steady, because after 60, your brain deserves balance, not chaos. Now here's the tricky part. Many foods that seem healthy can actually hurt your brain because of hidden carbs and sneaky sugars. These are the foods marketed as good for you, but quietly spike your blood sugar and wear down your mental clarity. Let's start with fruit juice. Yes, it comes from fruit, but it's missing the fiber. One glass of orange juice can contain as much sugar as a can of soda, and your body absorbs it just as fast. Without the fiber to slow it down, your blood sugar surges, then crashes, leaving you tired, foggy, and craving more. Next, granola and cereal. They often say whole grain or natural on the label, but many are packed with added sugars and refined carbs. Some healthy cereals have more sugar than Frosted Flakes, just hidden under names like brown rice syrup, evaporated cane juice, or organic honey clusters. What about low-fat yogurt? When the fat is removed, food companies often add sugar to make up for taste. A small container can carry 15 to 20 grams of sugar, enough to disrupt your brain's chemistry first thing in the morning. Even smoothies, yes, even green ones, can turn into sugar bombs. Bananas, mango, juice base, honey, all blend into a fast-absorbing sugar storm. Without protein or fat, that smoothie becomes a dessert in disguise. Crackers, rice cakes, gluten-free snacks, many of these are just refined starch. They convert to glucose rapidly, giving you that familiar crash and burn just an hour after eating. So how do you protect yourself? Read labels carefully. Look at total carbs and added sugars. Choose plain Greek yogurt and add your own berries. Build smoothies with protein powder, avocado, or chia seeds. to slow the sugar impact. And favor whole, real food, the kind that doesn't need fancy packaging to prove it's healthy. After 60, your brain can't afford to be fooled by marketing. It needs steady energy, not false promises. Let me tell you about Ellen. She's 68, a retired schoolteacher from Arizona. For years, she felt like her mind was wrapped in fog. She couldn't remember simple things, names, appointments, even where she parked her car. Her doctor ruled out dementia, but the fog never left. Then she started making small changes. She replaced her daily glass of apple juice with water and lemon. She swapped her morning toast for a boiled egg and berries. She cut down on granola bars and began eating real meals with protein, vegetables, and healthy fats. Within 3 weeks, the fog began to lift. Ellen said it was like a window had opened in her head. She could focus again, remember things again, her energy came back, her smile came back. And there's John, 72, from Michigan. He thought his forgetfulness was just old age. But when his daughter pointed out how much soda and white bread he was eating, he listened. He didn't quit everything overnight, just started with one meal at a time. Oatmeal instead of donuts, nuts instead of cookies, real fruit instead of juice. 2 months later, John said, "I feel like I've got my brain back." These aren't miracles, they're biology. When your brain isn't swimming in sugar, your neurons fire better. You sleep deeper, you think clearer, you feel more like you. And these stories aren't rare. They happen every day when someone chooses to nourish their brain instead of inflaming it. After 60, your brain is still capable of clarity, joy, and sharpness. You just have to give it the right fuel and remove the foods that block its brilliance. Because memory loss isn't always a life sentence. Sometimes it's a sugar trap you can escape from. Now that we know what to avoid, what can you drink instead? What choices actually support your brain after 60 instead of draining it? Let's start with the simplest, water. Yes, plain filtered water. Your brain is made up of nearly 75% water. Even slight dehydration can slow down your thinking, affect your mood, and increase fatigue. Add a slice of lemon, cucumber, or mint if you want flavor, but drink water first and often. Next up, herbal teas. Chamomile, rooibos, lemon balm, or peppermint. These are not only caffeine-free, but also support calmness and better sleep. Some contain antioxidants that protect your brain cells from inflammation, and warm tea at night helps the mind wind down. Then, there's green tea. It contains a gentle form of caffeine plus an amino acid called L-theanine, which can improve attention and focus without the jitters. Green tea is especially helpful for older adults who want alertness in the morning, without spiking blood sugar like sweetened coffee drinks do. Bone broth is another quiet hero. Rich in collagen and amino acids, it supports gut health and brain connection. Many seniors find sipping warm broth soothing, and it provides nutrition without sugar. It's perfect for those days when your appetite is low, but your brain still needs fuel. Even a small cup of coffee can be okay, if it's unsweetened and paired with a meal. The problem starts when coffee becomes a sugar delivery system, full of flavored syrups and creamers. Instead, try adding a dash of cinnamon or a spoon of MCT oil for a brain-healthy twist. And don't forget about smoothies. When made right, use unsweetened almond milk, avocado, berries, spinach, and protein powder. Avoid fruit juice or added sweeteners. Your brain needs steady energy, not a rush. The key is this: if the drink comes in a colorful bottle and tastes too sweet, it's probably harming your brain more than helping. But if it's simple, nourishing, and gives your body what it actually needs, your brain will thank you. After 60, every sip matters. Let every drink be a step toward sharper memory, better focus, and a clearer mind. Now you know, not all drinks are created equal, and not all sugar is innocent. What you sip each day, that cup of juice, that bottle of soda, even that healthy, sweet tea, it doesn't just go through your body, it goes through your brain. After 60, your brain deserves more. It deserves clarity, peace, memory that sticks. But sugar, especially in drinks, can steal that from you without warning. The good news is you have the power to choose better. You can protect your brain 1 cup at a time. Start small. Swap just 1 drink today. Replace 1 soda with water, 1 juice with tea, 1 habit with a better one. Your brain will feel it. Your body will thank you. And if this video opened your eyes, share it with someone you care about, a spouse, a friend, a parent. Let's help each other stay sharp, stay focused, and stay in control. And before you go, don't forget to subscribe to Senior Health Guide. We're here to guide you through every step of healthy aging, 1 decision, 1 bite, 1 sip at a time. Stay strong, stay wise, and as always, take good care of your brain.